Hi, this is Scott with AffectiveDog.com, your nomadic dog trainer. Murdered missing Indigenous women. This is part of our conversation today with emotional regulation. So is my logo, right here to my right, which has a heart, a dog, and a human holding the dog, and the dog looks sad. This fight goes right along with this care. This dog's going through panic grief. It needs to be emotionally vulnerable. This individual here is being emotionally available. We want to talk about emotional regulation. These folks, the indigenous community, is fed up. They have not felt heard, wanted, seen, or acknowledged. Their past has been erased, tried to be erased, but they are still here. Now there's something even more going on that they're fighting for. You don't meet the need here, you're gonna get the fight. What does that have to do with dogs? When we talk about emotional regulation, this is not unregulating emotions. This is not emotional dysfunction. This is a natural progression from here, the dog asking for emotional vulnerability or emotional availability from us, aka what we call, thanks to Dr. Jock Panskep, the panic grief, aka sadness, and the care systems. Those two go together. My dog looks sad, I help take care of them. I don't make them happy. I just become emotionally available so they can be emotionally vulnerable to heal. We want to talk about increasing endogenous opioids and oxytocin, and confidence. That's where this comes from. This is generational trauma. This is forced trauma that folks are still trying to heal from, and they're begging for help. Not help from us, but to just let them heal. Stop forcing stuff on them. We keep trying to increase pain and pleasure and punishment, or constantly positive associations to whatever negative they may be feeling. That's counterintuitive. But if we see somebody in pain and we ask, genuinely ask, and let them be emotionally vulnerable, they can feel those big emotions and they can help regulate. But if you don't feel seen, heard, wanted, or acknowledged, you're going to increase reactivity, aggression, which is only going to build confidence, because if this didn't work, this is why we look sad first, why we have behaviors where we start touching ourselves, why, because the endogenous opioid system, why is morphine, heroin, opium, Oxycontin so addictive, fentanyl? Because it takes away that emotional pain, and you want more, so you keep fighting to get more. Once you feel emotionally vulnerable, you feel here, you feel safe, that emotional pain is gone. And that is one of the most addicting things across the United States, across the world. But helping people feel safe, care, and community, and that is one thing indigenous communities and people, the global majority, are always for. Taking care of one another. You belong here, we're still here. Connection to the land. Instead of us trying to fix dogs' emotional behaviors by breathing, teaching them breath work, teaching. If we look at the natural ways dogs want to emotionally regulate, and you'll see reactivity, and the dog will start to calm down because the neurochemicals decrease, and so they get to an emotionally vulnerable state. After complaining for a while and somebody helps you feel safe, you start to maybe possibly cry, or you start getting really sad, going from a high intensity, right, down to feeling emotionally vulnerable. That, down here, is where the healing takes place. Panic grief and care. They take care of each other. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to have, that's where you really get your trusted sources from. This is all innate stuff. This is where we want our dogs to be, so they can heal. Any dog. We always look at fear. We look at rage. But we got to understand, when we feel emotionally vulnerable, when we're allowed to cry, we don't need to go into rage. When we start recognizing dogs licking slowly, going into that trance, scratching, yes, there was stress. We don't need to reduce it. The dog's already doing behaviors to reduce it because their limbic system says, get rid of it. At least get rid of it for now. So they lick. And it feels so addicting because that's what the endogenous opioid system is. It's addicting. Then you get oxytocin, which brings it up to a satisfactory level to help you stay social. So if I see a dog licking, if I see a dog scratching their neck, if I see the dog trying to chase its tail, I know it's looking for emotional support, looking for help. We talk about fear periods. Those are not fear periods. Those are sensitive periods to where they understand where they can get emotional help through fear. If they get scared, can they come back to emotional safety? Can they recuperate? That's why you see puppies run away and then come back to their human. You'll see bears, wolves, coyotes. Anything that has a youngster, listen to youngsters' emotions. When a child is stressed, they want to play. They get mad and they want to play it off. Stress cycle, right? Dr. Kathy Connor talks about that. Defense cascade is another thing that talks about that, which has been around for quite a while. Emotional vulnerability. You want to talk about emotionally regulating dogs, let them feel the pain. If they've never been able to feel it before, let them feel their emotions with you safely, or even if they act out, don't leave and try and counter condition. Help them recover. Let them get sad. Your dog's looking sad, paying attention to you because there might be a trigger or they're nervous, new situation. Don't keep rewarding. Acknowledge. Offer cuddles. Kneel down. Show that you're interested in emotionally being available for them. This is Scott with AffectiveDog.com, your nomadic dog trainer. Remember, asking to feel seen, heard, and wanted and acknowledged, to say, stop this fucking bullshit. Help us out. Help me feel safe. I need to heal. When we get mad at balanced trainers for punishing dogs, we're allowed to feel that. And then once we feel heard, we don't build confidence to go attack them. We feel heard, validated, and seen. Then we start asking for ways, how can I make things better? That's emotional vulnerability. You don't need to breathe it. This is Scott with AffectiveDog.com. Remember, murdered missing indigenous relatives. You can also look up murdered missing indigenous women. You can also look up the panic grief system, the importance of sadness. Why? These two go together because both of them know that they need care. Both of them know, because these folks are more connected to everything than we are as a white culture, as Western society, as dog trainers. I aspire to be here. I created this because this is what dogs need the most. I've seen so many dogs get upset and immediately go cuddle with their parents. And that's all they need. They just need to be taken care of for a little bit. We all do. Think about it. Have a great day.